All right, let's talk. Getting older. Now that's a trip, ain't it? One minute you're young and dumb, the next you've got all this wisdom, all this perspective. You've seen it all, done it all. But let's be real, along with that wisdom comes a little bit of worry. You start thinking, am I gonna stay sharp? Is my mind gonna keep up with my spirit? I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. It's a real concern for a lot of folks. You see people you grew up with, and some are sharp as a tack, and others, well, they're struggling a little bit. And you wonder what makes the difference. Now listen to me, and listen good. Staying mentally strong, I'm talking about being on your game in your 70s, your 80s, and beyond. That ain't about luck. It ain't about winning some genetic lottery. Don't let nobody tell you that. It's about the little things you do every single day. It's about building small, consistent habits that stack up over time. It's like building a house brick by brick. You don't build a strong house overnight. You lay one brick, then another, and you do it right. That's what we're talking about here. Building a strong mind, one good habit at a time. So, what we're gonna do today is break it all the way down. I'm not just pulling this stuff out of thin air. This is based on what the smart folks in the white coats are saying, the research, but it's also based on just looking around. On watching the folks who are doing it right, the ones who are vibrant and full of life deep into their golden years. We've got 8 routines, 8 powerful habits that can change the game for you. So I want you to lean in, get comfortable, and get ready to learn something. Let's get into it. First things first, and this might be the most important one of all, you cannot let yourself become an island. I see it happen all the time. Life changes, kids move away, friends pass on, and it gets easier and easier to just stay home, close the door, and be by yourself. But isolation is a dream killer. It's a joy stealer. The folks who are thriving in their 80s, they fight against that. They make the effort, they pick up the phone and call their kids, their grandkids. They make a standing lunch date with a friend. They go to church, they join a book club, they sit on the porch and talk to their neighbors. It ain't always easy, but it's always worth it. You gotta understand that social connection is like fuel for your brain. When you're talking with someone, laughing with someone, even arguing with someone, your brain is firing on all cylinders. It boosts your mood. It makes you feel like you're part of something bigger than yourself. It builds up your resilience, so when life throws you a curveball, and believe me, it will, you've got a team in your corner. Don't you ever underestimate the power of just having a conversation. It's medicine. So, make the call, send the text, plan the visit. Do not let yourself drift away from your people. It's just too important. Now let's talk about your body. You can't have a sharp mind in a rusty bucket. You follow me. You gotta keep this machine moving. I'm not talking about you going out and trying to run a marathon or bench press a car. That ain't it. I'm talking about simple, consistent daily movement. The most mentally sharp 80-year-olds I know, they all have one thing in common. They move every single day. It might be a walk around the block first thing in the morning. It might be some stretching while they watch football, or they watch the news. It might be working in their garden for half an hour. The activity itself ain't as important as the consistency. See, what a lot of people miss is that moving your body is one of the best things you can do for your brain. It gets the blood flowing up there, delivering all that good oxygen and nutrients. It helps reduce stress, it helps you sleep better, and it keeps your energy levels up. Don't get caught up in thinking you gotta go to a fancy gym or have some complicated workout plan. Just start where you are. Park a little further from the grocery store entrance. Take the stairs if you can. Just make a promise to yourself to move a little bit every single day. Your body will thank you, and trust me, your mind will thank you even more. Your brain is a muscle. If you stop using it, it gets weak. It's that simple. You can't just sit back and rely on what you learned 50 years ago. The world is changing, and you gotta keep up. The sharpest folks I know are endlessly curious. They're always learning something new. Maybe they decide to finally learn how to play the piano. Maybe they take a class at the local community college about ancient history. Maybe they just get a new cookbook and try a different recipe every week. It doesn't have to be some big, complicated thing. The goal is to challenge your brain, to get it out of its comfort zone. When you learn a new skill, your brain has to create new pathways, new connections. The scientists call it neuroplasticity. I call it keeping the lights on upstairs. It's about staying engaged with the world. It keeps you from getting stuck in a rut, thinking the same old thoughts day in and day out. So ask yourself, what's something you've always wanted to learn? How to speak a little Spanish? How to use that new tablet your grandkids got you? How to paint? Go do it. Don't let that voice in your head tell you you're too old. That's a lie. Your brain is hungry for a challenge. You just gotta feed it. Alright, this one is deep. I want you to really hear me on this. It is so easy to get bogged down by the negative. You turn on the news, it's all bad. You think about your aches and pains, it's all bad. You think about what you've lost, and it can pull you under. But the people who stay mentally strong, they make a conscious choice. They choose to focus on the good. They practice gratitude. Now that might sound a little soft to some of you, but it is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mind. It's about rewiring your brain to look for the positive. It can be as simple as this. Every morning before you get out of bed, or every night before you go to sleep, you think of 3 things you're grateful for. It could be the sun shining through your window. It could be the taste of your morning coffee. It could be a nice phone call you had with your daughter. When you start your day or end your day by counting your blessings, it changes your whole perspective. It reduces stress. It stops that negative spiral before it even starts. It's a form of mindfulness, of being right here in the present moment, instead of worrying about yesterday or tomorrow. Appreciate the small things, because the small things are the big things. Life is going to throw you punches. That is a fact. You're going to have setbacks. You're going to face challenges. You're going to have days where you feel like you just can't win. The difference between someone who crumbles and someone who stands strong is how they talk to themselves when things get tough. You have got to learn to challenge that negative voice in your head. That voice that tells you, I can't do this, or it's all over, or I'm just not good enough. That voice is a liar. You have to learn to become a lawyer for your own mind and argue against it. This is what the experts call cognitive reframing. It's about flipping the script. So instead of thinking, this is a disaster, you say, okay, this is a challenge, how can I handle it? Instead of I messed up again, you say, this is a learning opportunity. What can I do differently next time? It's not about pretending problems don't exist. It's about changing your perspective on them. It's about seeing yourself as a capable, resilient person who has overcome things before and can overcome them again. You've made it to your 80s. You are tougher than you think. Don't you ever let that negative voice win the argument. You need a reason to get out of bed in the morning. And well, I'm not just talking about needing to use the bathroom. I'm talking about a real reason, a purpose. When you retire from your career, and the kids are grown and have their own lives, it's easy to feel like your purpose is gone. You can feel a little lost, a little adrift. But the most mentally vibrant seniors, they don't let that happen. They find new ways to have meaning in their lives. They find a new why. This gives their days structure. And more importantly, it gives them joy. It makes them feel needed and valued. That purpose can look like a million different things. For some people, it's volunteering. Maybe they read to kids at the local library or help out at the hospital. For others, it's mentoring. They share their lifetime of wisdom with a younger person who's just starting out. It could be taking care of a pet, or cultivating a beautiful garden that brings joy to the whole neighborhood. It could be being the designated cookie baker for the grandkids. The key is that it's something outside of yourself. It's an activity that contributes to the world in some small way. Find your thing. Find that reason to set your alarm clock. It's a game changer. Now, this here is a modern problem. Technology. These phones, these tablets, this internet. It can be a beautiful thing. It can connect you to family all over the world. You can see your grandbabies' faces on a video call. You can read any newspaper, listen to any song, learn about anything you want. For staying connected and staying informed, it's a blessing. The mentally sharp folks in their 80s, they embrace that part of it. They learn how to use it to their advantage. They don't let themselves get scared of it or left behind. They see it as a tool to keep their world big. But here's the other side of that coin. You cannot let it take over. You cannot let it replace real, face-to-face, human connection. I see people sitting at a dinner table and everybody's just staring at their own little screen. That ain't right. Technology should be a bridge, not a wall. Use it to set up a lunch date, not to replace the lunch date. Use it to get information, but don't get so caught up in the 24-hour news cycle that it fills you with anxiety and fear. You have to be the master of the machine, not the other way around. Find that healthy balance. Use it to enhance your life, not to escape from it. Last but not least, and this is one of my personal favorites, you have got to laugh. I mean a real deep belly laugh, the kind that makes your eyes water. Life is unpredictable. It's absurd sometimes. Things are gonna go wrong. Your car will break down on the way to an important appointment. The plumbing will leak. You'll say something silly. You have two choices. You can get angry and stressed out, or you can find the humor in it and laugh. The people who are mentally strong, the ones who seem to just handle whatever comes their way, they choose to laugh. They don't take life, or themselves, too seriously. Laughter is a superpower. It's like a pressure release valve for stress. When you laugh, your body releases all these feel-good chemicals. It literally changes your brain chemistry and boosts your mood. It connects you with other people. Sharing a laugh with someone is one of the purest forms of connection there is. So watch a funny movie. Spend time with that friend who always makes you crack up. Learn to laugh at your own little mistakes. Life is too short to go through it with a permanent frown on your face. Find a reason to laugh every single day. It's some of the best medicine you can get, and it's free. So there you have it, 8 simple, powerful routines. Look, staying mentally strong as you get older isn't some big, complicated mystery. It's not about one giant leap, it's about taking small, steady steps every single day. It's about the choices you make. The choice to call a friend instead of sitting alone. The choice to take a walk instead of staying on the couch. The choice to learn something new, to count a blessing, to challenge a negative thought, and to have a good laugh. These are the bricks you use to build that strong house for your mind. Don't get overwhelmed trying to do all 8 of these things tomorrow. That's not the point. The point is to just start. Pick one, just one of these habits that spoke to you today. Maybe it's practicing gratitude. Maybe it's committing to a daily walk. Whatever it is, make a promise to yourself to start today. Not next week, not tomorrow. Today. Because the sooner you start laying these bricks, the stronger your foundation will be for all the years to come. You have the power to shape the future of your own mind. So I'm going to leave you with this question, and I want you to be honest with yourself. Take a look at this list, think about your life, and tell me, which of these routines will you start today? Drop a comment below and let us know. Let's hold each other accountable and support each other on this journey. And hey, while you're thinking about it, if you want a little fun, we've got a quiz down in the description to find out which Friends character you are. Because you know what? A little fun and laughter is a great place to start.